All right, here's our video for 2.3.4. It's on the distributive property. Here are a couple of problems just to kind of warm us up a little bit in preparation for the assessment on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on which class you're in. Find the area and perimeter of those two rectangles right there. Why don't you pause, do that, and then come back. All right, for the very first one, the area of that is, the very top is a 5, right? That's a 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on the side. So it's a 5 by 8. The area is 5 times 8, which is 40. 40 square units. Make sure you put on the correct units on that. The perimeter is, this are all the sides that are being added up. And so we have 5 on top and 5 on the bottom. I can't write on this, so I apologize. 5 on top, 5 on the bottom, which is 10. On the left side we have 8, and on the right side we have 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16, right? So 16 plus 10 is 26. The perimeter of this is 26 units, okay? In this one, the area is given to us there with some side lengths. 12 times 3, that's 36 square centimeters. 36 square centimeters. And the perimeter on the from the left and right side is 6 centimeters, and on the top and bottom is 24 centimeters. So 24 plus 6 gives me 30 centimeters. All right. So let's get moving. Whoops. We are going to do the distributive property here. You should probably take a second, pause, and just review how to do the multiplication of 8 times 32, right? All right, hopefully yours will look like, or looked like this. We have the 8 here, we have 30 here, plus, that should be a 2, not an 8, sorry. And then we, as a reminder, right, this length is 8, and that length is 8, because at the top is 8, the middle is 8, the bottom is 8. And if for some reason we need it, the left side's 30, the right side's 30. And if the left side's 2, then this one's 2, right? So look at that top rectangle. That top rectangle is a 30 by 8. So we would say 30 times 8. 30 times 8 is 240. So the area of that is 240. The bottom part is 2 times 8. And 2 times 8 is 16, right? And we can put that all together. Whoops. Bumping stuff. There we go. And we could add that all up, right? 240 plus 16 puts me at 256. Okay? Now, it's as a lead-in for today, we talked briefly at the last class at the very end of just kind of how everything gets put together, right? So what we're doing is we're doing 8 times 32 for a grand total of 256, right? Where does the 256 come from? Oh yeah, that's the 240 plus 16. Well, where does the 240 come from? Well, that's going to be the 8 times 30 plus, and then where did the 16 come from? That was the 8 times 2, right? And then we talked briefly about this part where the 8, it's 8, which is the top, times the 30 plus 2, okay? And the key part for today is our focus right around here, which is that what we call the distributive property. To move from this step to this step, or backwards, by the way, is what we call the distributive property, and I'll even say backwards because we're going to do that by the end. It is indeed the distributive property in action, where we can say it is 8 times 30 plus 8 times 2. All right, let's put some of this, let's just practice some of this for a while here. We're going to multiply 5 times 628, right? Okay, well, we'll use a generic rectangle, and then we're going to show that on the right. So, on the right, we have the 5, and we have the 600, and we have the 20, and the 8, plus and plus. So we multiply 600 times 5 is 3,000. And 5 times 20 is 100. And 5 times 8 is 40. Right? And then we can add those all up. And we're going to actually do that here on the right. So I'm just going to wait for that part. All right, so we take and we say it is 5 times 628, right? Then we do the 5 times the 600, right, plus the 20 plus the 8. Now that comes from, right, our thought process that we had right here. Okay. So now what's that next step, right? The next step is 5 times 600, right? Which actually comes from right here, right? And then we do the 5 times 20. That one comes from here. And then we do the 5 times 8. That comes from right there, right? What is 5 times 600? Oh, yeah, that's the 3,000. And then we have the 100. And then we have the 40. So that becomes 3,140. So, again, it's just kind of tying together our generic rectangle with distributive property. All right? And hopefully you're seeing where all of these things, step from here and step from here, come from on our generic rectangle, right? All right, we're going to try it again. Multiply and use a generic rectangle, 12 times 34. Now, this one, we can, we're going to do it just a little bit different, right? Because if we do the 12, and I'll just do the 12 on top, that's the 10 plus 2. And on the left, we'll do the 30 plus 4, right? So now, what we'll do is we're going to fill all these spots up, right? So we're going to say that that upper left one is 30 times 10. 30 times 10 is 300. And on the upper right, we have 30 times 2. 30 times 2 is 60, right? So now in the lower left, that's 40, and 4 times 2 is 8, right? So that is all of those individual pieces, and we'll put that all together in the parts on the right. All right, so I have, in the upper part, I'll have 12 times 34, right? So now we have the 12 is written as 10 plus 2, and the other one is, oh, I missed a number in there. I apologize. That's not just 30, that is 34, right? So that's 30 plus 4. All right, so now what does the upper corner become, right? That's the 10 times 30 plus the 2. Now it depends on how you do it, which one you go to. We could go to this one, right? We could say that one's the 2 times 30. And then in there we have the 10 times 4, and then we have the 10 times 2.